In this video, I just wanted to share with you guys my initial thoughts and feelings regarding Legendary Ephraim. I will also be covering his Flame Siegmund weapon and his unique Solar Brace B skill if you are unsure how exactly they work. Starting off, Ephraim's base 5-star stats include 43 HP, 36 attack, 27 speed, 33 defense, and 18 resistance. He has a nice pool of health and decent amount of defense, and this is important for his healing type of playstyle. 36 attack is also really great, although his speed isn't too hot. If you get a plus speed Ephraim, however, add in a speed increasing A skill or Sacred Seal and give him a cavalry buff, and suddenly he's not that slow anymore. 18 resistance isn't that high, so you really do need to keep Ephraim away from powerful mages, and he definitely cannot get doubled by them. Ephraim's base kit includes his unique Flame Siegmund lance, which grants a set +3 attack, so Ephraim can really stack his attack stat pretty high. His special is Soul, and that is because of his Solar Brace B skill, which we will go over in more detail later. His A skill, Sturdy Stance, is actually pretty nice, and this brings Ephraim's defense up to 37 when he gets attacked. In my opinion, that is pretty solid considering no other buffs. Last, his C skill is Fortified Defense, which isn't really bad, but really nothing special. I should also mention that Ephraim's Fire Blessing bonus is HP +3 and Defense +4, which a lot of units would love to have. Let's now go over Flame Siegmund's special effect. If the number of foes within 2 spaces is greater than or equal to the number of allies within 2 spaces, then Ephraim is guaranteed a follow-up attack. This does not include Ephraim or his target. Now this range of 2 spaces is based off of where Ephraim is at the start of the fight, so not including the target. If there are more or equal amounts of enemies as allies, then Ephraim gets to double attack all the time. It's similar to skills like Quick Riposte or Brash Assault, just with a different way to activate them. I thought this was going to possibly be hard to put into practice, but it's not so bad if you plan ahead. It can be restricting, and Legendary Ephraim is gonna work better on maps that give him some space to move around. Admittedly, it's a bit tough to let him bait because he doesn't want to be next to allies. That means to buff him up, you will want to use Hones and Fortifies, and unfortunately Spurs and Drive skills might not be helpful if they prevent Ephraim from getting a second hit in. One good aspect to Flame Siegmund is that it encourages Ephraim to charge the enemy head on. By moving toward the enemy, you likely move far away from your own team, that Ephraim will always get the guaranteed double. This is something you want to keep in mind when building Ephraim, and even he himself tells you that.
I'm going in.
I do want to make sure you guys know that Flame Siegmund does work with Desperation. What I mean by this is that Flame Siegmund does the same interaction as Brash Assault and Desperation combo. If you're unfamiliar with this interaction, essentially Desperation doesn't specify how you need to get the guaranteed follow-up, you just need one and then you get to use it following your first attack. Since Flame Siegmund guarantees a follow-up as long as you meet its conditions, Ephraim can get 2 hits in first with this combo. Now I can't show it here, but I am positive that Flame Siegmund will also work with Windsweep as well. I have made a video regarding this same interaction using regular Ephraim's upgraded Siegmund, and from the description of Flame Siegmund, I don't see why it won't work the same way. I will leave a link to that video if you want to check it out. Moving on to the Solar Brace and what I think of it. So this skill will heal Ephraim for 30% of damage done when he activates his special. It can stack with other healing specials like Noontime for a 60% heal or Soul for a massive 80% heal on damage dealt. Even Aether will get 80% healing, including its 50% defense reduction to the enemy. Solar Brace can also work with non-healing specials like Moonbow or Bonfire. They deal the same damage as before, Ephraim just heals back 30% of the damage done to the enemy. As you can see on the right, this is my minus defense plus resistance, level 40 Ephraim, using his base kit with the distant defense 3 Sacred Seal, and he can completely auto battle the lunatic difficulty of the workout special training map. The power of 80% healing from using Soul is incredibly noticeable, and it makes the healing specials feel so much better. In my opinion, Solar Brace is very much viable to keep as Ephraim's B skill, and mainly because Flame Siegmund does kinda have the same effects of a couple of combat B skills. I've tested Noontime and Aether a little so far, but really I think Soul is the best for now. If Ephraim procs Soul on a high HP target and deals a decent amount of damage, he can easily heal back 20 plus HP, and I love it. This is the kind of skills I want to see more of in the future because they really make the healing specials actually feel good to use. Honestly, I think you could try some sort of build with a Slaying Lance that could be a 1-turn cooldown Noontime with 60% healing on hit. A little too much investment for me, but I wouldn't count the idea out. Now some build ideas for what I think we will mostly see on Legendary Ephraim. For Arena, Solar Brace might not be worth the effort, and I have mixed feelings about it from my experience. I think it's much better for PvE content, so to replace it, we can use Desperation. So this build here is an example of a Gale Force setup with Heavy Blade. Now I know not everyone is going to like that or have Gale Force, so you can switch it out for a simple damage special like Luna. Any way you want to customize, the idea is that you can still bait with Flame Siegmund since it will let Ephraim double for a kill possibly. Fury can help ensure Desperation gets activated, although you can easily keep Sturdy Stance or even throw in Death Blow for a full-on offensive power build. Heavy Blade is great for Ephraim either in the A skill slot or Sacred Seal slot, and he has such high attack that you have a good chance to proc it. With this build, you want Ephraim to be charging in toward the enemy and possibly have him flank from the side while the rest of your team groups up. I'm willing to bet you will see a lot of Desperation setups in place of Solar Brace in the arena. Going back to Solar Brace, I think it can be amplified with the use of Heavy Blade somewhere in Ephraim's kit. With 55 attack with Neutral Nature, I would say Ephraim can forgo an attack increasing A skill in place of Heavy Blade. Flame Siegmund's guaranteed fobs work well to ensure Heavy Blade is proccing as often as possible, and with this in mind, you can use healing specials like Noontime, Soul, or even Aether, and Legendary Ephraim just becomes a tank who can dish out solid damage and heal up any of the hits he takes. Close defense makes Ephraim a super solid physical tank, and since he wants to be on his own, leaving him in a choke point to deal with a group of enemies can be a sound strategy. To end the video, I'll show you guys this build in action. So from the last slide, my Legendary Ephraim is running the exact same build, but no threatened defense, instead just using his own fortified defense. This is a Fallen Takumi Grand Hero battle on Inferno difficulty, and I actually never tried it until I got Ephraim. Some common strategies I've seen are holding a choke point on the left side of the map, as well as just literally throwing Legendary Ike down the right side. With this in mind, I felt that this is the perfect type of situation that Legendary Ephraim wants to be in. So because I leave him on his own on the left side of the map, he will always double attack and Heavy Blade procs Soul faster. Soul and Solar Brace keep Ephraim healthy throughout the whole fight, while my other units clear the right side of the map. Overall, I think Legendary Ephraim is a solid unit. I don't think he'll be an overpowering unit, nor do I think he is completely bad. Flame Siegmund and Solar Brace give Ephraim a very unique identity, and I do love how different you have to play with him to utilize his whole kit. Flame Siegmund and Solar Brace also do not need to be used together, which opens up a ton of different build options if you want to customize. From a combat standpoint, Ephraim may be a little weird to use at first, but he has a lot of power if you can deploy him in the right spots. Using him in a horse team might be a little iffy, but if he can lead the charge, then you won't have to worry about not proccing Flame Siegmund's effect. In terms of aesthetics, I think Intelligent Systems did a great job again. Clean artwork, and my goodness, I love his damaged art. I like that he is smiling because it shows that even though he knows he has to be a proper king for his people, deep down Ephraim still loves the thrill of battle. He has a great level 40 confession that I won't spoil, but it's just one of those small things that makes me love Fire Emblem and makes me happy that Heroes is willing to expand on older characters. That's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed my initial thoughts about Legendary Ephraim. Similar to the other legendary heroes, I don't think he will be taking over the game or anything, but his unique weapon and B skill do help him stand out from the crowd. I would say I'm very happy with the way he has turned out, and I just hope Erica herself will get a legendary version someday too. If you have any build ideas for Ephraim, share them in the comments or just let me know what you think about him in general. I'll see you guys in the next video.